Hey guys, Tbull here. Today we got to look at the new legendary tier French Destroyer Kleber. There's Violet on the screen there. I'm trying to new build Gurren for the AP pen and Bay for the concealment. There's the ship build I got now. This is still early in the testing phase, but I'm trying to fiddle around with the build. I know a lot of you guys run Oh Boy No and go for more of a torpedo-centric build. You can still get pretty good torpedo performance with this build, but I'm going to try it not only on this ship but other ships up and down the line. I'm not enamored with the French destroyers personally, so I don't want to put 2 or 3 commanders worth of POs into them at the moment. But Kleber, what do we got going on here? We got 4 guns on this thing, 139 caliber. That's the highest so far for the destroyers. I got 11.7 range on mine compared to 12.9 in the Kaba. Reload 7 on this compared to 4.6 on the Kaba. Torch verse 18 seconds highest at the tier. 2,000 damage, 10% fire chance, best at the tier, and 2,700 AP damage. 4x3 torps. Now you'll notice 2 torpedo launchers per side. That's a change from the tier 6 and 7 Frenches, which have 1 dedicated launcher per side and then 1 in the middle that can service both sides. 79 knots in the water on these puppies, so very fast torpedoes. Speed on this says 44 is the max. If you hit the speed boost, you'll see it quite a bit higher than that. You can see we speed boosted to get early position in this game. I got the concealment down to 5.3, which isn't too bad. It's kind of second best behind 5.1 of the Shima. So that's the stats with my builds, just to give you a quick overview. But I want to jump into this game here. We do have 2 Shimas on the enemy team, I believe. I'm trying to catch them off guard with the speed. Now, I think the speed would be more beneficial if we had further back spawns like they do on PC. I see the guys playing on the King of the Sea tournaments with the Kleber. They start way back and then they get into the caps early. I think that's kind of lost on this, but we still have the ability to ambush with this build, get around the map very quickly. So trying to move into position. I was hoping to actually torpedo a destroyer there, but we got in range with the Yamato without being spotted there, trying to go ahead and see if we can wreck him. Someone on my team blasts him pretty hard there. I'm kind of partially ambushing that Conqueror. I believe it's behind the island or whatever it is. We'll find out in a moment. But, just due to the position here, now we're getting spotted by the Yamato briefly there. Get a torpedo on him for this first salvo. The destroyer is going to pop up here in just a moment. We're going to spot him right there. He shoots. There's the Shimakaze now. Teammates going to do a great job shooting as well. Down goes the Yamato for the first kill. And look out, we got the reload booster there. And Shima, here we go. Got him with the double strike. Take it away, Little John. What? What? Okay. So good job by our team there. We're getting radar though, unfortunately. Chop I have moving in hot, and even more unfortunately we got the torpedoes. Now I think these are wide spreads, which is going to save our bacon there. Definitely would have died if those were normal spreads. We still take one of them. They're spreading out, but they're still pretty close range. So we get nailed with one of those. Need to get away from this chop I have though. You can see he's right on the edge of our blue detection ring, so if he comes around the island, he can kill us. And we don't want to go down here because we got both of their destroyers off the board. We want to maintain that destroyer advantage as much as possible. So I'm trying to get distance between him. We're also going to try and torp this gap, hoping he's just going to be creeping through there, or perhaps just anchor back there, and then this will prevent him from moving forward those torpedoes. I guess it was a Grober earlier that we're trying to ambush. He's coming around. We're going to get him with 1 torpedo there. Slammed on the brakes, turned in. Good play to stay alive there. And then the chop I have dodges the torpedoes. But look at this, we got the AP loaded. Now this is why I'm putting the Gurren on there, because these guns are pretty nasty. If you can get these broadside cruisers, and I haven't done enough testing with this build yet to see how long the penetration is with the build with the AP pen boost from Gurren on there, but you can see the results in the shot. We're getting 3-4 citadels, pretty decent damage, and he's going down once again with help from our friends on the team. So you can see our team's moving forward, playing the bases. Usually the team that plays the bases and moves forward in legendary tier is going to win the game. The red team, you can see they're behind. What do you want them to do? They don't have any destroyers in front of them. We got 2 destroyers over there, so I get that they're not looking forward to moving in, but unfortunately they're going to be playing behind the caps for the rest of the game, which means this game more or less is over from a scoring perspective, but we're going to continue to go for some style points, and the game's not technically over. If they start killing some ships, of course, it's still early enough that they can go ahead and flip C, maybe get some guys over here, and contest the score that way. So definitely don't want to be taking our foot off the gas. Now at this point in time, I'm looking at D thinking, well, maybe we need to get over there. We do have this other, here's the Conqueror that I was thinking of earlier. He's moving it over here, so potentially we can get rid of him. I'm thinking if we can kill him and go ahead and get D, or whatever their home cap is, I think it's D, then the game would be wrapped up. So we're going to move into position and attack this Conqueror. So you got to be very careful with this Kleber coming. It's, like I mentioned earlier, it's the first French where we have equal output on both sides, and you can see those firing angles very generous, so we can be moving forward. It's kind of like the German cruisers where you get these steep firing angles on the torpedoes. You don't have to be flashing much side to get them off, and it doesn't really take that long to get both sides off here. So moving in there, putting some strikes on the Conqueror, we got good support from the team as well, so I don't think he's long for this world. I'm looking on the map there. It looks like that battleship directly to the west, or just a little bit to the northwest of us, is spotting him. So even if we move behind this island, you can see he continues to be spotted by the team. And now he's got a bunch of torpedoes coming in hot, and we're pretty low health. I'm thinking this game's looking pretty decent, so we're going to chime in with the guns here once we recognize we don't quite kill him, assuming he's damage conning there. If not, the flood's going to probably kill him anyways, but we want to just try and go ahead and get him off the board. Now, Conqueror shooting HE at us. Very dangerous proposition. Very easily could have died there. And we're actually taking some fire from that Grover to the northeast of us. I think his secondaries are trained in on us. So I definitely need to kill this Conqueror as quick as possible. We're trying to bounce off the island juke. Rather than continuing to go back, I immediately go forward just in case he got a shot off. And once again, beach. So the Grover, he doesn't have line of sight for us, but the secondaries, you can often lob them over islands that you think you might not have a shot at here. So now he's facing off against the Bismarck. We still have a pretty good ship lead, and in my mind I'm still thinking about that cap, but I'm kind of looking at the fact that there's a cruiser on there. So we're going to torpedo this Grover here. Yes, I know it's grosser if you're new to the channel, but we're just trying to set him on fire here. And then I'm thinking, okay, let's leave. But then as I'm leaving here, I'm beginning to think to myself, I'm looking at the map saying, okay, it's a grosser 1v1 with this battleship. I think I'll take a look and double check what kind of battleship we have here in a moment. But once I recognize that he's got more health and he's the legendary tier, and then we got the Bismarck behind him, lower health, I'm like, well, it's kind of a dick move to abandon him for no reason. And because we have the 3 caps ticking up to their 1 anyways, it's not the end of the world if I die here. So initially I'm looking at him kind of trending over here to the east. Then he's kind of going south. I'm just keeping an eye on this torpedo aim indicator. And once the thing crosses through his ship there, I can see he's committing to either trying to ram that ship or just kind of rush him and trying to bully him. So I'm thinking, well, if he rams them, there's nothing we can do about that really. But we can definitely try and support this guy. Strategically, there's no real reason to abandon him. Yes, I often preach about getting the caps. Usually that's the stronger play. But, if the grosser technically kills this guy and then reclaims the cap, then from a strategy standpoint, that's not a very good play. So I kind of altered my thinking halfway through the play there. We get some torpedoes off there, and, we're at 150k damage. With the base capture at this point in time. Might as well go for a little bit of extra style points here. So Grosser Kerfer's coming around here. Now he's slow lumbering beast, and he's kind of hard in terms of turning. Not the best turner in the game, I guess I should say. So he's going to have a hard time avoiding these. We go ahead and beach and open fire once again. Doesn't really matter. Take him down. Got the high caliber with the 163. Could have died from the secondaries there, but at this point you can see we're only about 50 points away. So looking at the opponent's position on the map, they don't have the ability to challenge caps, so it's impossible for them to stop the accrual of points. They'd basically have to kill every single ship over there in a sequential manner while charging forward, and then maybe get C, and then it's basically impossible. There's nothing they can do. They need a teleportation device. And even though they're playing from outer space, the teleportation device does not exist yet in this game. We'll see what Wargaming wants to do when it comes to that. But this is kind of the, all jokes aside, when you're this far behind, and I realize they're being shoved back, it's a good play for our team to continue to shove them back just so they don't have a chance to get on those caps. But when you see this often at Legendary tier, you got these ships all the way behind the caps, even though they can technically shoot at people in range. And that was kind of my problem with the Champagne. You got to play really far back. Yes, you can hit things, but you can't really pressure the caps from that position. So Legendary tier, it's a common strategy to play way behind the caps, and it's a very common losing strategy. You're never going to win games by letting the opponents. But in all fairness, we killed all their destroyers very rapidly, and my team shoved them down. So we can't necessarily blame the players for the circumstances they found themselves in. That's a look at the Kleber for you guys. Hopefully you did enjoy it. If you did, please hit the thumbs up. New to the channel, consider subscribing. Lots of World of Warships coming all the time. Questions, comments, leave them below. Love to hear from you, and we'll see you later. Peace.